Well, hello everyone. This is Nathan Barzy from the Octet Collaborative, and today I have the pleasure of introducing you to the newest member of the Octet Collaborative team. Amy Crouch has just joined us in August as our operations lead. We are thrilled to be adding Amy to the Octet team, and I'm excited to get to introduce you to her today. So, Amy, thanks so much for joining me and welcome.
Oh, thanks. It's so great to be on the team.
So I thought I would just start by just asking if you would just introduce yourself. Just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you've been up to, what has led you to this point where you're here in Cambridge and joining the Octet team now.
Of course. Well, I've actually just recently moved to Cambridge from the San Antonio, Texas metro area. And that's actually where I got to meet Mia and hear more about her work, including Octet. So I was working at a place called Laity Lodge, which is a retreat center convening events around hospitality, theology, and the arts. I was there for 2 years and just had such a fun time sort of diving deep into these events about essentially what does it look like to integrate faith, which can sometimes be a matter sort of that doesn't seem very connected to everyday life. So what does it look like to live faith out in all of our various callings? And while I was there, Mia was attending a retreat and she shared a lot about what she was doing at the Octet Collaborative. And I actually went up to her, I think just the day next after that, and I asked her if there was any way that I could think about joining the team. So I'm really happy to be here. I've actually moved to Cambridge kind of independently just to come a little closer to friends and family, and I'm really excited to be working with Octet.
That's great. That's great. Um, so you talked a little bit about your work at Laity, and I know that at Laity Lodge, being a retreat center, you think a lot about hospitality. Um, Intellectual hospitality is one of the three pillars of our work with Octet, and so that makes you a really great fit. I'm curious, what sorts of things did you learn at Laity Lodge that you're excited to bring and put into practice as you come now to the maybe a very different context, Cambridge, MIT, as opposed to Laity Lodge.
Yeah. Well, I came pretty late to hospitality. I studied linguistics in college, and so when I jumped into hospitality, I had a little bit of uncertainty about, well, what would this look like? I mean, what does hospitality have to do with the academy? They often don't seem very similar. But I learned two things about hospitality that I am just really excited to keep exploring. And I would say the first one is that hospitality is fundamentally about imagination. And hospitality is both about our imagination of the other. So we've sort of heard the phrase, put yourself in somebody else's shoes. But hospitality is an interesting business because you don't always start out knowing what shoes the other person wears. You have
Mm.
to engage in this deep process of learning about the people around you, the ideas you're engaging with, the places you are. And you also have to have the imaginative capacity to understand what life looks like, not looking out through your own eyes. So it's this act of imagination with people around you to kind of be prepared to welcome the place that you're in and know it for what it's best at. So hospitality is imagination. That's one thing.
Mm.
And then the other practice is kind of more general. There's a sort of story in hospitality about a guest being absolutely wowed by a dinner they have at an amazing restaurant. And he asks the owner of the restaurant, how did you do it? It's like magic. And the restaurateur says, it's not magic, it's just paying attention. So the
Mm.
lesson of hospitality is that things that look like magic are actually the result of deep, sustained, careful attention. And I think that there are real applications to the work that every person at MIT is doing in their own thoughtful, attentive engagement with research. And my hope is that our intellectual hospitality events will be the chance to pay deep, real, meaningful attention to a point of view maybe you haven't considered at all, or to a set of people who you thought you had nothing in common with. And the amazing thing is when you pay that kind of attention, it kind of looks like magic.
Mm, that's wonderful. Really well put. It resonates really deeply with a lot of the things that we have tried to begin to do at the Octet Collaborative. Um, as you talk about the imaginative capacity to put yourself into the position of the other, I'm reminded of the course that we offer on disagreeing well and just
Yeah.
developing those skills of empathic listening because they are skills. They're things that, I mean, as you
Mm.
said, it's not magic. It might feel like magic, um, but it is a matter of developing the capacity, maybe bring those two things together, the imaginative
Mm.
capacity to really pay attention to the person sitting across from you.
Mm.
So I'm excited to have you aboard. We're recording this the day after our first Sabbath midweek of the year. That's our contemplative prayer lunch, which is a place where for an hour on Wednesday, right in the middle of the week, um, anybody is invited, the Christian community, but really anybody at MIT to come in for lunch and to sit down and to pause for a week, excuse me, for an hour in the middle of the week,
Mhm.
um, and uh, and pay attention to the scriptures and to one another. So I was really glad to
Mm.
have you there for that yesterday. Well, anything else that as you're beginning this, you've been on the team for a few weeks now. You've gotten a little bit of the taste for both the relational side of what we do, but you're really picking up the details and the logistical nitty-gritty really quickly. Anything so far that you're just excited about as you look ahead to a new academic year?
Mm. I think I'm excited about how this team balances ambition with a real commitment to Sabbath.
Mm,
I think, we're in Boston, which is a city where being ambitious is not countercultural. And when I
right.
hear what our team is planning, I get so excited about how big we're thinking, how visionary our leadership and our board are. But what is countercultural in a city like Boston is to also have a deep commitment to rest and a belief that we work better when we rest well. That is something that people do not know how to hear. And so I'm both really excited for all the big things that we're putting out. There's some really amazing events we're working on. But I'm also just really looking forward to seeing how we can live out a life that is not a life of sort of mindless stress, but rather of deeply engaged rhythms of work and of rest.
Yeah. That's great, and that is a huge challenge.
Yeah,
Those are things
it's not
that
easy.
yeah, no, those are the very things that get us up out of bed in the morning, and then also make it a challenge to go to sleep at night and to rest. So yes, yes, it's something that we really think a lot about and pray a lot about. And in fact, for those watching this, this might be a good encouragement to you if you pray for Octet.
Mm.
Pray that we would, in fact, be able to live the virtue, the value, the practice of Sabbath in our own lives, even as
Mhm.
we try to share that at the MIT campus. You can pray for me, you can pray for Amy, pray for Mia, pray for Sam, the other member of our team who we introduced in an interview, I think last May or April. That should be on our website a couple months back. Well, Amy, it was really great to talk to you today. I'm excited that you've joined the team. It was
Thank
great to be
you.
able to share a little bit of who you are with our community today. So thanks so much.
Oh, thanks so much, Nathan. I'm really excited to meet more members of the community, and I've already had such a great time on our little team.
Great. Thanks so much, Amy.
Thanks.